Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. It is Turkey Week, and with that comes some fun things to do. You've got to earn the turkey, and we'll talk to you about some things you can do this week and more in Northern Colorado. This is live in Fort Collins, coming to you every week around noon on Tuesdays to talk to you about things that are happening, city council reviews, and what is going on in Fort Collins for you and yours to take part in. Well, it is becoming the end of the season. It is the last week for Republic Service, which is our local trash collector. So the city of Fort Collins, just over, I want to say it was maybe a year or so ago, voted on and implemented a single trash hauler in the city. So Republic is that. If you want out of Republic trash and you go with like Western States or Ram Waste, Waste Management, there are options to do that. It does come at a cost. But Republic Waste is the city trash hauler. And each season we've got until basically March 30th until end of November, the ability for a green yard waste trash collection that you pay for. I think it's about $5 per month. And you put your yard clippings, small branches, leaves, things of that nature in there that get picked up separately and is part of our service. Well, this is the last week. So if you got some last minute leaf raking or trimming of some branches, use it, and after that it will be gone until next March. Well, really beginning of April. This last week at City Council, it was a short one, but the City Council unanimously votes to move an additional $5 million of revenue from the Community Capital Improvement Project to affordable housing. Now, we collected $98.5 million and had budgeted only $84 million. So we actually moved $9.5 million to the Southeast Community Center, which is going to break ground probably 2027 and open in 2028. Super exciting. And then we're going to move $5 million to our affordable housing. We've talked about this. Actually, I just had an Instagram post and it had some pretty decent engagement. And I am all for providing and building affordable housing within some realistic expectations. I'm a bit concerned at some of the things, though, that I hear and read, which is we have a 300 new affordable unit per year goal by 2040, which would give us the affordable housing stock of about 10% of our housing units. We are falling short of that, as essentially about a $30 to $40 million per year shortfall. A little bit concerning because, at what cost will we move funds from this community capital improvement project? Now, like for me, I see the CCIP, the Community Capital Improvement Project, this tax, 25-cent sales tax that's been going on for many decades, but was renewed in 2015 and just renewed this last November, are going for projects that make kind of these amenities in Fort Collins, pickleball courts, the Whitewater Park, Lincoln Center updates, Gardens on Spring Creek, the Whitewater Park, all of these really amazing amenities that make Fort Collins so amazing, in addition to some of our street paving to make it continue to be a beautiful place to live. And I definitely want to see those things continue to reinvest in those amenities that make Fort Collins and Northern Colorado such a fun place to live, and still providing a piece of the pie for those individuals, seniors, fixed incomes, restaurant managers, retail workers, things of that nature. But, I would say, and I continue to say this, Fort Collins is a place where people choose to live. It is an expensive place because of that. While we do need to provide some affordable housing, I just don't want it to come at the cost of what has made Fort Collins such an amazing place to live. So good luck, Emily Francis, and, our new mayor in Fort Collins to navigate some of those challenging waters. Man, it's been an absolutely beautiful fall, but I get some kind of conversations here and there of like, should we be having this warm of a fall? And, is that a concern? Well, we have had a year where our latest snowfall is December 13th. So we haven't necessarily got there yet, but we're kind of getting close because I don't necessarily see any snowfall in the near future, but it's coming. It will be here, and mid-January, beginning of February we'll be here, and I will be over winter. I'll be ready for spring. So I am not opposed to its delay. That being said, in Fort Collins, in Northern Colorado in general, our dry, arid climate, if you, without the snow, without the moisture that we've received, we've probably all at this point had our sprinklers blown out. So you do need to get out there and make sure that you're watering those bushes, watering those trees, giving them some of the moisture that they do require. Because last thing you want is next spring to roll around, having no moisture, nothing along those lines, and having one of those, 20-year-old trees dead because it didn't have the kind of supply of water that it's accustomed to. Next week, we have so the Fort Collins lighting ceremony happened November 7th, but on December 1st, there is the NightLights tree lighting that happens right at the, let's see here, what is it? It's For Realities for Children, and it's held at a church. I don't know what the church's name is, but it's the 28th annual NightLights tree lighting ceremony, and it's coming on December 1st, and it lights up around 5:30 that evening. So something, a good cause to support here in Fort Collins, Northern Colorado, and something to do. You'll see a big blue lit tree. It's a fake tree as you're driving north or south along College Avenue. We've got the Glade Reservoir, and I think it's the Gallatin Reservoir that will also be breaking ground here. But the Northern Integrated Supply Project, NISP, is going to move forward and potentially start having dirt fly in 2026. This is a $2 billion project in North Fort Collins. What's crazy to see is the original estimate in 2003 for this project was $350 million, over a 600% increase in prices. It's a 40,000 acre lake, and it came in around like $65,000 per acre per share for, I think, like the, over 10 communities that were involved. But the Fort Collins Loveland Water District pulled out among two others. And so there's over 1,000 share shortfall moving in. I think it's bigger than that. I think it's closer to, the shortfall is about $660 million shortfall. And so they're either going to have to go find other communities that want to buy these shares and have these shares, but it sounds like they're going to start construction regardless. Some of the interesting things were they're going to start construction next year, but then in 2027, we'll start to see some of the moving of the US 287. And then by 2031, they're expected to start filling this reservoir. It does seem like it's probably going to be a motorized boating lake with other recreation around it. So kind of up in that Livermore area, north of Ted's Place. Seems like it could be a pretty fun place to be here in Northern Colorado when that recreation comes. If you're trying to buy some fun property, that might be something to consider. I don't know. We've got a place up in Red Feather. Drive that road at least once a month, maybe twice a month, heading up to the cabin. But that will change. That will be redirected here soon enough. Let's see here. Residential real estate. There was a real estate summit, and the economist Lawrence Yoon was predicting that we will finally see a little bit of an increase after a 3 down year plateau. We might start to see a little bit of an increase. So we will see how that works in Fort Collins, Northern Colorado. Interest rates are sub 6 right now, high 5s with mortgage brokers. We just helped a client. Let's see here. Where are we at? Got us this very nice gift. They relocated from the Texas area with that poster that framed picture living in Fort Collins. So super excited to see that. If you're considering buying and selling in the next year, let us know. We'd be happy to be on your team. Speaking about 2026, expect Fort Collins utility rates to increase anywhere between 6 to 9%. That's water, wastewater, stormwater, and electric. It equates to about a $13.50 per month increase. So nothing too crazy, but still, you got to be watching your bills, watching what you're spending, and that is happening in the new year. We are in the Fort Collins Loveland Water District, and we got hit with a 30% increase on our utility rates this year, and it's expected to increase an additional 10% moving into the new year. Again, we are a dry, arid climate here, and one of the most important natural resources is our water. And with the growing area like Fort Collins and Greeley, which is expected to potentially surpass us in population in 2026. It's a growing area, and we've got to continue to try to do what we can with what we've got, and specifically increasing the capacity of what one drop of water can do. So hopefully a lot of engineering is going on, and people seeing opportunities there with that. Things to do this week in Turkey Day. Hopefully, one, you're spending time with you and yours. It is time for those kids that are in the Poudre School District, among other school districts, to be out of school. So hopefully you're having fun with them. Otherwise, CSU versus Air Force on Friday, November 28th at 1 p.m. There is the Fort Collins Thanksgiving Day Run starting at College and Mountain Avenue. It used to be called the Turkey Trot Annual. This is kind of a coin flip, but this year it looks like the weather's going to be pretty solid. Earn the turkey, but if you want to stick in your Windsor area, there's the Pelican Lakes Turkey Trot. And then also Huffin' for Stuffin', 2-mile run walk in Loveland, 8 a.m. They're all 8 a.m. except for Pelican Lakes and Fort Collins are going to start at 9 a.m. You can still sign up. There's still space. It is fun. You don't have to go run. You can absolutely take a stroller out, walk the kids, and enjoy that. There is a holiday artisans market, November 28th and 29th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Fort Collins Senior Center. Winter's Farmers Market every Saturday at the Foothills Mall, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Go check that out. Get your breads, your winter vegetables, some kind of treats for you and yours. Colorado Eagles versus San Jose Barracudas, November 28th at 6:05 p.m. and 29th at 3:05 p.m. Holiday Festival in Timnath, Colorado is going to be December 6th. Food trucks at the community park, Timnath Community Park. So if you're in the area, if you're not even in Timnath, go and you want to go enjoy some holiday festivities, that is an opportunity for you and yours. Now, we've been going over 15 minutes by a minute or two each week, but I'm going to stick around for a couple of minutes because we do have time for questions. This is recording live on our Fort Collins Lifestyle YouTube channel, Facebook, as well as LinkedIn. So definitely starting this back up. I'm also considering doing a real estate market update every other Friday. So trying to move some things around because Tuesday is kind of my heavy recording day. We got done doing some pretty fun recordings, everything you need to know about Loveland, Colorado's map tour. So excited for that to be released here in the next couple of weeks. Doing some short video recordings, specifically talked about some investing goals. I'm under contract on a new build, new construction property that really doesn't have a great yield, but it's a model lease back from the builder. So, I can dive into that on Fridays, what the market's doing. Super active. We're going to go look at some investment properties tomorrow for a client. So if you're interested in that, let me know, comment, and I'd be happy to kind of explore that. Otherwise, this YouTube channel is really about Fort Collins lifestyle. I asked on my newsletter, which if you're not signed up for that, sign up for our newsletter. It goes out every Tuesday, kind of provides a lot of this information as well as some other bits of information. But I'm also interested to know who we should have on our in-person podcasts in the new year. We're going to start in-person podcasts at the studio that we're building out. Will be state-of-the-art, will be an awesome place to record. And I'm interested into who we should have on the podcast. Should we have the mayor, talk about affordable housing, ask hard questions like, what are we going to give up to accomplish some of these goals that is clearly a priority for the city of Fort Collins council members? And what are we going to give up for that? Who else should we talk to? There's going to be a new CSU football coach. We've got a new basketball coach in Ali Farouk-Namesh that had an unfortunate loss against DU, but they're going to get back in action and pick it up. I know where they left off. So let me know who we should have on that podcast. But that is it for the week. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for watching. And until next week, everybody, have a great day.